Team Galileo.
Thank you, board, for joining us today. We have an emergency meeting that us management have called today. I'd like to just introduce myself. I'm Jeff, my colleague Farah, Jody, and Bernie. Today, we're going to take you through our objectives of what we're going to do. First of all, we have to determine, as the management, what is the course of action? We have to make sure that we control the situation. We have to have an open communication, and overall, we got to make sure that we keep the company on track. This is very important. So let's take a step back. What is the key issues that we're facing today? Well, the key issues is that Netflix will be releasing movies on the same date as we are going to have the ability to issue it out to the same patrons at the same time. So what does this mean to us in Cineplex? Well, what this means is we're going to have lower CPP and RPP, as well as decreased revenues. This is incredibly important that we have to deal with this right now in this situation, because the potential could be to eliminate our entire core business. We have to do something, we have to do it today. So what is our management priorities? Us as the management team feel that we have to maintain the business. We have to continue to deliver value from our current offerings, and we have to make sure and sell that the theater is still relevant in today's industry. So let's take a step back. What is the vision of Cineplex? Well, Cineplex continues to passionately deliver an exceptional entertainment experience. We have to make sure that all employees are on board, and they all are on board, making sure that this is our face towards what we produce out into the industry. And what is the message that we actually show to our customer? What is our value proposition? Well, we're affordable entertainment options that allow customers to escape reality. Escape is a key that we're going to touch on today in our presentation quite a bit. We also promote ethical cultures through our values and code of conduct. This is really important to us, and we're going to continue this. I'm now going to pass it on to Farah, who's going to talk about our alternatives.
So we see that we have three alternatives to take today. First, we could decide to continue to show the films. If we do this, the pros would be that we would still have the ability to earn revenue. In addition, we'd be able to leverage our current product offerings, such as VIP and 3D movies, and we'd be able to introduce VIP+, Cine Experience, and maximize our media revenues, which I will touch upon more in a bit. The con of doing this would be that there'd be a limited time frame for us to earn box office revenues, as well as loss of media revenues, concession, and ticket revenue. Secondly, our next alternative is to refuse to show the film. Doing this would show that we do have bargaining power. Cineplex has 66% of the market share in Canada, and if we say we're not showing the films in our theaters anymore, this shows the studios that we do have some bargaining power. As well, we want to show that we're going to maintain that the theater is still a relevant experience. If the con of doing this, refusing to show the film, well, we could have the potential to damage our relationship with the studios, as well as a potential loss of consumers. Our third option is to demand a higher margin on the licensing fees. What this would do is give us a chance to compromise with the studios. It's a win-win situation for both parties. As well, however, on the flip side of that, there is a con, and that is that we would not be able to make up the lost revenue due to lower attendance and frequency. So what do we recommend? Our first recommendation is to approach the studios and demand a higher margin for the licensing fee. Immediately, we would arrange a meeting with the studios to discuss this. And in the midterm, we would then determine what should that percentage now be, and secondly, what is our new price point to the consumer. Our second recommendation is to continue to show the films. What we would do is immediately issue a media release that says to our consumers, look, Cineplex is still going to continue with business as usual. Well, how are we going to do this? We're going to increase our marketing and awareness surrounding our current products, such as 3D and VIP. These are things that consumers cannot do at home through Netflix. In the midterm, we will pilot our new product lines. We were really lucky that just about a week ago, we met with Team Galileo, a consulting firm, that came up with 3 product lines that we could potentially roll out at Cineplex theaters. So I'll now take you through the first one that Team Galileo recommended, which is VIP+. What is VIP+? VIP+ is an extension of the platform of VIP. It caters to the market over 25 years old, and it enhances that experience for them. What we would do is we would redevelop the existing VIP locations and give to more of an entertainment complex. This would be a gathering spot for people to socialize, network, and really just hang out. So imagine a venue where people can come and there's activities, there's social networking opportunities. You could come for a wine tasting. You could also come for a movie or book club night, as well as theme nights. So for example, you come in on Tuesdays and it's Global Tuesdays. What do we offer? A foreign film for you to watch. But before that film, we'll offer some ethnic cuisine. And after that film, you can stay for language lessons. So what the key message here is that you could come to VIP+ locations any night of the week, and we have something to offer you that is beyond just the movie. It is a full experience. Why is this important? Well, 50% of our attendees are over the age of 25, and they don't necessarily want to go to a venue that's surrounded by kids and teenagers. Yeah, the other key message is that young adults have so many alternatives to coming to the theater. They could go to a nightclub, they could go to a lounge, and the key thing is they want to hang out with their friends, they want to engage, they want to have that social interaction. Sometimes they feel that movies don't offer that. However, the VIP+ experience would offer that. It would bring the social interaction aspect into the movie. And what we hope this would eventually culminate in is increased frequency and visits to our complexes, as well as incremental spend opportunities. Team Galileo also put together for us a plan on how we could pilot and roll this out, which is displayed here. We also came up with a feasibility. They took the average cost for a tenant improvement allowance to renovate an existing space, which is around $30 per square foot. Assuming that we would renovate 15,000 square feet, this would cost us $450,000 for an initial pilot project. I will now pass it off to Jody for the next recommendation.
Thanks, Farah. So the second product offering that was given to us was this idea of changing the experience of the movie going, make it a total experience. And we're going to do this by branding the Cine Experience 2 ways, by 4D entertainment and theme nights. So the 4D theater is something that you can't get at home. Netflix can't provide this. This is something you can only get when you're in the theater. It boosts entertainment by providing the seat simulations, the sensories. Also, the theme movies, the theme night movies. That's where you get to bring the movie alive. Again, you don't get this at home. You come to the theater. You get to have a girls' night out that is based off of the Sex and the City movie. What else do you get with this? You get free makeup applications. Great way to promote the movie, bring people out, all that. Also, let's include the kids. They want to come to the movies where they can feel part of the Harry Potter experience. So we decorate the theaters to promote Harry Potter, make it look castle-esque. So is it financially feasible? So we looked at how much would it cost to have these theme nights. It's got limited expense. Most of it is based on the promotional and setup costs, but we thought, why not partner with local businesses, have them sponsor these theme nights. Maybe they can do dance lessons for a Footloose night. Also, for the 4D entertainment, we did an estimate. We based it on the fact that we know that we spend $880,000 to build one regular screen. So let's assume that it costs double that to bring out one 4D theater. But you know what? We need to double check that. So we would put out a request for proposal against other providers such as iWorks and see what they say it would cost to provide one 4D theater. Again, Team Galileo provided us with a rollout, which shows us how we would pilot this project and what other options we can have after it's hopefully successful. And now I'm going to pass it on to Bernie for the third option.
Thank you. One of the interesting things was, well, we have a decrease in frequency. How are we going to help our revenues? Well, the recommendation by Team Galileo was maximizing media revenue. Taking a look here, we look at two key buckets. We see come early and receive value-add promotions, as well as a branded theater experience. Again, that funnels back to the cinema, creating an engaging opportunity. This opportunity opens it up completely for consumer packaged goods. Imagine this, a marketer being able to go in, brand a whole way. We look at the stair area, walking up here, there's branding. We look at the walkways around us as well. What other different areas can we create an experience and really target our market consumer? The consumer benefit, well, they got great special offers and gift giveaways. The sponsor benefit, the marketer gets a branded communication to their direct target market. And the best thing at all for the Cineplex benefit is we're utilizing existing assets to generate revenue. Branded theater. This is, again, that concept of renting out that theater to create that whole engaging experience. One of the interesting things that kind of came out was, how do we lease the name of Cineplex name? So as opposed to saying, oh, it's cinema number 1 down there. Oh, there's the Coca-Cola cinema over there. Or there's the Weetabix cinema over there. Again, an opportunity that adds to our bottom line. Sponsor benefit, again, branded awareness, targeted on particular actual market opportunities there, so it is great there. The estimated media revenue potential. So again, we think it's really important to focus on pilot opportunities to ensure these opportunities are viable. We look at the pilot project, it'll generate about $72,000 a year, assuming with our assumptions there of 1 major city in our 6 provinces, 2 screens per location, as well as $500 a month times 12 months for the year. Looking at that, if that was successful, and we just rolled that out over our 129 theaters, that would bring an incremental revenue of $9.3 million. So now Cineplex now has this opening act. Imagine being able to have an experience before that movie. You have a showtime that says a pre-showtime opportunity where 6:30 your kids get to interact, have a sampling opportunity, as well as your showtime would start at 7 p.m. Incentives, well, we know scene is extremely important for us. We'll provide incentives such as doubling scene points and utilize our segmentation with these databases to ensure e-newsletters, website, and magazine opportunities exist for us. So our action plan, well, this is really important with our crisis today. Our phase 1, our media release, business as usual. Phase 2, a marketing campaign on our current products. Now's the time for us to really create our point of difference and ensure that we're communicating to our core consumers what the benefits are of coming in-house to our exhibitions. Phase 3, meet with studio management team to ensure that we follow our recommendations and we come to a solution collectively. Phase 4, research and the pilot projects for new offerings to ensure they're viable and make sense. Again, we can roll these out as they fit for the organization. Phase 5, lastly, evaluation and realignment. Sometimes we gotta tweak things depending on different markets. As you know, Canada is national, but the different regionalities have different demands. So we need to ensure that we cater to them. So to conclude, we really want to wrap up and say, if we proceed with the following action plan, Cineplex can continue to provide value to stakeholders and deliver on its value proposition to passionately deliver an exceptional entertainment experience. It's all about the entertainment experience. So really, that's what we kind of put it all together, and I'd like to thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Maybe I'll start. Excellent presentation. Just curious if you have any insights into things we should be doing around communication, because in overnight trading, our stock's down 33%.
Yes, I'll take that question. I think we need to remain open and honest with our shareholders as to what we're facing in terms of this crisis. I think we would need to come up with some projections to determine, how quickly can we get our stock price back up. But the main thing is give that messaging that we are taking control of the situation. We know that this is an immediate threat, and we're going to handle it as we see fit and as we think is in the best interest of our shareholders and even the Canadian consumer base in terms of providing that entertainment experience, which is our key value proposition.
Thank you. Yes, Chris?
Given the immediate profit impact of Netflix movie release versus launch time of your mitigation strategic plan, and the likely impact on share price that was just brought up by Gary, did Team Galileo consider strategic partnerships, M&A, etc., and what would they be? What did you think about?
Well, from an M&A perspective, we do own 66% of the market share right now. I think the interesting opportunity in terms of short term is branding within a cinema. We look at our cinema today here, and the opportunities to be able to leverage strategic partnerships, sampling opportunities. There's an array of marketing opportunities that would really generate incremental revenue that we currently don't see today. So we really need to find some opportunities to offset ourselves to be able to think short term, but as well think of some long-term opportunities that we feel fit with our entertainment experience.
Do you feel that the array of alternatives you offer result in some loss of focus for the organization and perhaps for the customer, that it's a little too busy to implement all of these things, or would you want to be a little more selective out of this menu of options?
Yeah, no, we know that the alternatives that Team Galileo presented are many and few-fold. As a management team, we would step back and decide which ones do we want to deliver, which order, are we going to do them all at once, how should we do them, which ones are the most strategic. The great thing about each and every one of those alternatives is that they do drive home our whole overall core competency of giving an entertainment experience. So entertainment does go beyond movies, which is what's great about that, the alternatives that they've identified. And we think that we need to strategically decide which ones to roll out and in which phase.
Just one other question. Just thinking about technology, I'm just following up on Chris's comment to some extent. So the challenge that we face is that many of your suggestions are things that actually we could adopt today even if the Netflix piece didn't come forward. Is there anything actually that's shorter term? Is there a technology solution we should be looking at maybe in the shorter term to try to mitigate this challenge, not just kind of a rebranding of the theaters?
You know what, we actually at this moment, we haven't considered that option fully. It's a valid consideration. This meeting was held, in the utmost last moment, and we would go back as a management team and take your board consideration into mind and come back to you as swiftly as possible with an answer.
Thank you.
Your share price has just tanked. You're a likely takeover target. What does that space look like, and what are you thinking about with regards to that?
All right, so I think that what we would, yes, it has tanked, and we need to respond to that immediately. In terms of takeover, the potential takeovers are from the US, maybe AMC, maybe Regal. In Canada, there really isn't necessarily, unless we think outside the box, it may be a Rogers. If it did come to that, we would definitely engage in conversations with those companies. Hopefully we could proceed with a more friendly takeover option rather than hostile, if possible. The main thing is we would want to maintain the Cineplex brand and not let that get diminished and keep our brand equity. So, we would definitely engage in those talks with them in considerations or takeovers.
Maybe I'll ask you this. Have you turned your mind to creating memberships within the existing clientele of the patrons who frequent the theater as a way of enhancing, the experience?
So based off of our SCENE database that we've collected, we see that our target demographic right now, the biggest portion of our demographics is the 25 and plus. That's where that VIP plus entertainment came about. So that's who we're trying to target, those people that have other alternatives of entertainment. They can go to those bars, they can go to coffee shops, they can go out for dining experiences. We want to bring that back and make it that total entertainment experience for them. So they get more than just the dining out experience. They get a movie, they get a social networking experience, they get you know, they get to broaden their horizons with wine tastings or offering the foreign films. That's how we're trying to use it based off the demographics that we have of our scene membership.
Okay.
And also to build to that point, in terms of the loyalty with the scene card, we see that we can really leverage that existing scene card that we have. It's a great loyalty program, but we can do more with it. Some of the things that we can do is, you know, have increased, like, to get people to sign up for scene, hold a contest to say, you know what, we're going to allow you to be an extra in a movie. But what do you need to do to apply for that contest? You've got to get a scene card membership. That'll really build the loyalty program, I think, as well. So different ideas around that, building that loyalty to the theater.
What control would you have in allowing these people to be extras in movies when, in fact, wouldn't that be something that you're like losing your focus on? You know, when you're supposed to be focusing on the core business?
I mean, we wouldn't be running that contest. We would, you know, if that's something that would be run through, probably not the studios at this time, but I mean, that could be differentiated to another type of contest that's really hosted by one of the partners that we have currently, and we would really just be offering the scene points, and that contest would be administered by one of our partners.
Okay, so if I understand what you're saying is to enhance the scene loyalty program then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
Given that your revenues have been attacked, what thought have you given to cost containment and HR strategies while all of this is happening and you're repositioning the company?
I think we were just trying to take a look at how can we drive incremental revenue growth. So our strategic initiatives that we've put forward here is driving sales up. So when we were looking at cost containment, we actually didn't take that approach. We took out on this, how can we maximize the revenues going forward?
And what about your HR strategies? Your people will be quite shaken by this crisis.
Absolutely, and we understand that. So I think we need to, as a management team, come out. We have to come out and let them know that it's business as usual. You don't have to worry. We have these new initiatives that are in place that we feel are going to drive the top line revenue. We're going to be great. Our stock price is down 30%, but that's okay. It's going to rebound because we have these new initiatives in place and what we're going to do to roll that out going forward, just to build confidence with them.
Anything at risk?
I'd hope not. I'd hope we'd be able to let them know that